Happy Wednesday and welcome to Jots and Tittles with Lauren Grace. I hope you are having a great day. This week we are going to discuss the book of the week again because, well, we've got 22 books of the week. So anyway, this week is, let me get the light so it's not flashing on that, Mending Christmas. Mending Christmas was really fun to write for a couple of different reasons. I got to draw on a unique experience I had, which we'll talk about in a second. And two, it was the fastest I've ever written a book. I wrote the book in 15 days. Originally, Mending Christmas was a novella, but then with the Artist and Billionaire series, I decided to include it. So I went back and added another chapter. So maybe 21 days with the extra edition of the extra chapter. But the amazing experience happened right in 2016, just a couple months before I published Waking Lucy. And I had a friend that I made 30 years ago. His name is Tom Holdman, and you can Google him or Wikipedia him. He is this amazing stained glass creator, and he has created windows all over the world. In 2016, he was working on Roots of Knowledge, and I'm going to look down so I can get my stats right, but it is 200 feet long and 10 feet high, so that's about 61 meters by 3 meters tall, and it has 80 separate panes with over 43,000 pieces of stained glass in it. And when he was nearing the end of the, creating the window, he realized he needed some more help. And he knew I was a graphic designer, so he called me up and said, hey, can you come help on this? Well, he may or may not regret it, but we're still friends. But my first day was a total disaster. I had never painted on glass before. I'd done oils and watercolors and acrylics. And in the last 20 years, mostly acrylics, a little bit of watercolor, but painting on glass, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a very different process because you're painting with really ground up glass bits suspended in an oil, and it's a completely different process. And I didn't realize that. I was just handed some brushes and said, paint this glass because you can paint. And yes, I can paint, but it was kind of a disaster. In my teeny bit of defense, I did not know at the time that I had cataracts, which the cataracts were really complicating what I was seeing because I hadn't painted for a while, and I knew I was having some problems with the computer screen, but really painting. So after a disastrous day where there is in one window about a piece about this big that I did paint, of that, Tom moved me over to the computer, which was probably wiser for both of us. Part of the process was taking his original drawings in Vision and moving that into the appropriate size and stuff so this could go to the painters and the glass cutters and things. So there was a lot of computer work, and I even got to design a few things. A lot of the stuff I did because I was, kind of there as a helper, was just find things. So I didn't do a whole lot of design, but I did get to do a little bit of design. And if you're ever in the Provo-Orem area of Utah and have a few minutes, just pull off the freeway. Utah Valley University is right next to the freeway. Find yourself a parking space at the university. They have some guest parking, and get over to the library. Look at this thing. If not, you can look online. I will try to find some links, or on Instagram, I'll tag Roots of Knowledge and Holdman Studios so you can find some of this amazing work. But if you go look, and when you get to the very end, which is kind of the futuristic, if you look way up at the top, you might find Anna Green Gables. And that was my Easter egg I put in. There are so many fun Easter eggs all throughout the the windows. Like I said, there's so much glass in there. It's breathtaking. And to be even the teeniest cog, is I was like this much. It was a cog this big, and the whole window was the most amazing experience. So when it came to writing a Christmas book, stained glass and Christmas and churches kind of all went together in my mind. So to have Tessa have this stained glass window that needed to be repaired just kind of came. And I had watched a lot of things. There's so many parts of the stained glass I never got to do. I never cut. I never put in leading. After that first day, I never painted. But it was just so fun to watch. And I did, when I finished this, because I had never seen repairs done, I sent a couple of chapters to Tom and said, hey, are these right or wrong? But that experience, those little 2 months, is kind of what was behind this book. And at least the stained glass part, which was a huge part of the book, because it was the whole reason that she was in New York was to repair this window. So now you know how it got there. There should be some links below, or like I said, in Instagram, I'll tag some things so you can go look at this amazing, amazing window. And yeah, just remember, I was like this much of it, so really none of it at all is me. But I am so thankful that Tom Holdman gave me the opportunity to be a part of something lasting and big and just amazing as the Roots of Knowledge window. Well, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.